Welcome back to Digestible Government with Mimi. Today we're going to discuss why I need a federal employer identification number known as a EIN. A EIN is called an employer identification number. You need an employer identification number because this is how the Internal Revenue Service identifies your business. Also, if a company is paying you for a product or a service, you want to be able to keep your personal information separate from your business. In other words, you don't want them to have your social security number, but you still need to report the income on your tax return. Also, the company, depending on the business of how you're identified, will provide you with a 1099 at the end of the year for the money they paid you. You may still be asking, do I still need this if I don't work for a company? For example, I cut grass, I wash cars, I cut hair. You still want to have it if you plan on reporting your income on your tax return. I would also recommend getting a business license from your city or your locality. But again, that's another video. The company is also going to ask you to fill out a W-9, and you want to be prepared. I will walk you through the steps of filing and filling out a W-9 in another video. All of this information is located on the Internal Revenue Service's website. If you really like to read, the IRS has plenty of publications to assist you if you get stuck. This particular publication would be Circular E, and it would be for employers. But you can go to the IRS website and they have information on your EIN. So let's get started. Let me just kind of walk you through a few steps. Step one is you go to the website, and I've added the website for your convenience. And one of the first things you're going to see here is this screen. And this screen says, it gives you all of the things you go to the IRS website for if you are looking for information for search. But in this particular situation, we're looking at applying for an employer ID number, again, which is your EIN. Now, step two to this is once you apply for your EIN, you'll go to that screen. The next screen will be get an EIN, and see I've circled where it says apply for an EIN, and it actually gives you some information. So the tool is only available Monday through Friday between 7 a.m. and 10 p.m. And the reason that's important is because I don't want you to go on and say, oh, it's Saturday, I'm going to sit down and do all this. Well, it won't be available to you on Saturday. So it has to be done during the 5 business days during the week. And your daily number of employer ID numbers is 1. You can go and get 1 per day. So if you once you hit apply for employer ID number, this next screen will pop up and it'll say EIN assistance. The reason I highlighted do I need an EIN, because I wanted you to be able to see why the IRS says you need an employer identification number. And here's a list of a few reasons why they say, this is starting a business was the number one. And so next you go and you hit begin application, which will take you to your next step. Now the next step after you have begin your application will take you to this EIN assistant, where you talk about the legal structure of your company or your business. And so if you want to check out my other videos before you do this, you need to check out my other videos before you do this, because I kind of break down what these categories for the IRS are as it relates to how you are identified. And so sole proprietor seems to be the beginning, because if you're just starting, you kind of start with sole proprietor or an LLC or a partnership. So if you want to check out my other videos, it will give you a breakdown of what those categories are and why they are identified. Here you have really the IRS definition of what those are, but again, you can check out my other videos and hopefully get some insight before you make or the decision of what you want to be categorized as. The reason I chose this is because when I just pushed sole proprietor so that you could get an idea of what the next step looked like. Each particular category has a different step, and the screen is going to look a little different, but it gives you some additional information as it relates to you applying for that particular category for your EIN. Okay? Again, all of this information can be found on the Internal Revenue Services website. You have enough information to at least get you started on how to acquire your EIN. So, again, check out my other videos. Like, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification button so you don't miss any videos that I post. If you want me to go into detail or explain some additional information as it relates to starting a business and getting your tax ID number, please leave it in the comments and I will create a video that may be able to assist you. Okay, hope this helps. Bye.